Orange team.
Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Mike.
I'm Spencer.
I'm not Dan.
That's right, it's not Dan, and this is the Board Game Rundown. Today we have, I would say, one of two fan zeros. Rob is here. Rob, how do you pronounce your Discord handle?
Yamnawaki.
Yeah, so if you
he
see
said.
It's exactly how I've been
That-
pronouncing it.
in the Discord, that's him. He doesn't live that far from us, so he drove down and he's been hanging out with everybody, sort of like during New Year's weekend. And so he came into the studio, was brave enough to play a bunch of games with us. And so we're going to review Kites today.
Reviewing kites.
We're reviewing Kites. So this is from Floodgate Games. This plays 2 to 6 players. It says 10 minutes. Maybe if you are lucky.
If you're very good.
10 minutes. So anyways, in Kites, what we're doing is we got a series of sand timers, right? Basically, Roy G. Biv without the G or the in the but anyways, they have different amounts of time, right? So red only has 30 seconds, where purple has 90 seconds. And then there's white, which is a wild. And then in this game, basically, we are flipping we're playing cards to flip the sand timer. So the cards are going to either have 2 colors or 1 color. If it's 2 colors, you have to flip both of those sand timers. If it's 1 color, you flip either the sand timer of that color or the white timer, which is sort of a wild. The white timer is also your main game timer. So when the draw deck all runs out, you can't flip that white timer anymore. And you've just got to now dump your hand as fast as you can to win the game. There's a scoring, like, we all had like 8 cards left total. Like, congratulations, you are okay at flying a kite.
You're less sucky than we hoped.
There's, arbitrary, scoring. Because really, you only really win if you get rid of everything, which we've done once.
Yeah,
Spencer.
once out of
Ooh,
4.
1 out of 4.
Well, and
Okay.
I've done it
Yeah.
one other time.
Yeah, one other time.
One other time. Out
is
of
not
probably
common.
4 or 5 plays.
For us.
Is it easier with more people or less? Because we played a 5-player game. 2 5-player games.
I have
louder with
one.
more people.
I have one with 4 players, and I have one with 2 players. I've also the problem with 2 players is you might be more inclined to strangle your partner, or at least when there's 5 players, you might be like, well, I mean, Spencer and Mike both sucked, so
Less obvious who to strangle.
yeah,
Gotcha.
I can't reach both of
That's
you,
why I sit so far away from you guys.
and I
yeah.
need 2 hands to get around Mike.
Well, yeah. I
And also he's got a longer reach, so Mike usually just like palms my forehead while I flail. But
Kites.
Kites. But yeah, this is a fun game where you're keeping kites in the air, and so that's what the sand timer simulate is keeping the kites in the air. Because Mike kept talking about how the theme in this game.
So
the theme-
thematic.
It kind of is thematic.
Okay.
All right, let's go around and talk about components first.
Sure.
Mike, what are your thoughts on the components in Kites? I'll go around to everybody, but I'll start.
The sand timers, I really like how the sand timers work in this game. I have not played a lot of sand timer games, I'll be honest. I've played some real-time games. But the sand timer element and trying to flip them and time that, I think that makes this game shine. I've never seen such a creative use of sand timers.
Yeah.
And that's the main component that stands out to me. The art is cool. Not lend and finish cards or anything. The art looks really pretty. I like how colorful it is. But the sand timers shine in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like the red one is the fast, only 30 seconds, and that is supposedly like a racing kite. I wonder if the kites represent the kinds of kites up there that
Is that a racing
might
kite?
stay up longer. Yeah, I think so. But the yellow one's the same one. But it's
But
so maybe not.
Theme,
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Oh well.
It's
Yeah.
just not as fast of a
But I like when you have the combinations. The combinations all have their own unique, cute little kites. So it's kind of cool.
So how do you race a kite, though?
Oh, I mean,
Usually as
I have no-
quickly
I
as
don't
you
do
can.
it.
Okay.
And you also have the kite game where you're trying to cut each other's strings, but yeah.
Different thing.
Oh, that's
played that
sabotage
one.
is what that is. It's
All right,
like every
Rob.
time Tim told me to hurry.
Yeah, that's true. Rob, what'd you think? What about components? Anything stand out to you? Amazing,
I
terrible?
like the colors were nice and bright and really fun, and the challenge cards.
Oh my gosh.
those
Yeah,
were
they're hard. They're challenging. You can add as many of these challenge cards as you want. We haven't won with the challenge cards, and then we played a final time and we added one of each. So storm, you have to announce there's a storm coming, and you have to basically it goes all the way around, and then storm is coming. Then when that player comes back to them, They have to play that card, and then you flip all of the sand timers. So what terrible thing could happen from that? Also, nice artwork on the Storm is Coming card. There's Airplane. You don't say anything when you draw this card, but when it's your turn, you have to play the Airplane card, and then nobody can talk until back to me, and I play a card to cover up the Airplane card. Hopefully it's not another Airplane. Then there's Twisted Lines, and so you say we got our lines twisted, and then when it comes back to me, everybody then has to swap a card with the player to your right and the player to your left.
that one didn't really do as much as I thought it was going to be because I just went randomly, boom.
Yeah, I just threw
Because
whatever.
at that point you're in a panic.
Yeah.
It did
I'm mostly
confuse
just-
me on whose turn it was when that happened, though.
Oh, sure, because now it's like I've played cards. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm mostly just disappointed you didn't say you got your Schwartz twisted.
Yeah, well, copyrighted.
And then we had the problem where he's supposed to announce that there's a storm coming, but the airplane was in effect. So does he say anything?
I can't tell it's storming out because there's an airplane.
Well,
Right.
we did have the unfortunate incident of Dan, who is apparently
follow
playing
him.
Hidden Trader in this game, stole it from me because I had done something in a different game that was hilarious and terrible. But yeah, so Dan had the challenge cards back to back, and so it was really tough. It was like Airplane,
Storm is coming.
Storm is coming. Like, oh,
And
crap.
Twisted lines.
And he
Yeah.
drew all three of the challenge
Yep.
cards somehow.
Yeah,
a row.
we did have all three in a
Yep.
row.
And it was all him.
And it was all Dan. Hidden Trader. Because what happened in the first game that we played when I was teaching these guys how to play, because Spencer and Dan and I played a few times while we were waiting for them to get here, I had, for some reason, flipped the blue timer right after somebody else flipped it. And I flip it, and I look and see that there is 5 grains of sand left in it. And I
Game
go,
over.
blue's bad!
Yeah.
Because I flipped it. It was terrible.
It was the moment it goes down. Blue's bad.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, can you slam the table any harder?
I
with
shouldn't
your
slam.
ring?
You're right.
It's okay. But anyway, so components wise, I think the sand timers are great. I think it's a ton of fun. I don't know why there's not green. There's white. It's fine. Whatever. But the cards are okay. I like the art on the cards. I would almost be worried about their durability with as much like shuffling and then like the handling that you're doing of them and playing them.
They
But
seem like they're already
I'm
getting,
not
like,
certain I would want to
indented a
sleeve
little.
these things because you're moving them so quickly. Sleeves might get in the way.
yeah, so I don't know. The card quality could be a little better, but the rule book. I mean,
What's
this
the insert
game.
like?
The insert,
what
insert's
insert?
actually good. There's a decent slot to hold all
okay.
of the timers, like properly shaped, and then there's a well for the cards, which I put in a bag.
All 4 of those pages in the rule book look pretty solid.
Yeah, the game is super easy to learn. The rule book is laid out very well, which makes it very easy to teach and learn. They've got the amount of time for each of the timers right there on the front. Tells you how many cards. I mean, it's all very straightforward. But for a game that is this simple and light, that's what a rule book should be like. Like, you don't really need player aids. You just really, the only thing you need to look up is probably what the challenge cards do again. You know, like, oh, what's that one do again? How's that work? Okay. But
Those actually feel thematic though.
oh,
You can't hear,
of
other
the
people
airplane.
because of the airplane. Yeah, I get it. The storm's going to take all your kites down.
right. Or
Yeah,
up.
all right. Or up, yes. Yeah.
And then, the tangled lines, right? You're just changing cards as you're trying to untangle your lines.
Yes. Yeah. Those felt thematic.
Look, they add theme.
11 out of 10 theme.
11 out of 10 theme. Okay, guys, let's go into final thoughts. All right, Mike, final thoughts, buddy. What do you think?
It's a fun game. This is a fun, quick, chaotic party game that you can play with anybody. This would definitely be like a, take on the holidays type of game,
Yeah.
or a cool opener or filler between games, and you hammer out like 2 or 3 of them real quick.
Right.
It's enjoyable. I like the challenge of trying to see if I can actually beat this game, because out of 2 tries, we didn't get that close. So now I'm like, want to keep playing it to try to beat it.
Yeah, like
and
12 and 13 is what we did. We did one card better with the challenge cards.
Wow.
It's because we had to stop Spencer from yelling at everybody. Because the airplane card came out, Spencer couldn't yell at Dan and make Dan cry. And Dan had to clean up, and then
Solid filler with some unique usage of sand timers.
Yeah. Right on, Spencer. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. The number of players is what, 4 or 5?
You can play up to 6.
Up to 6.
Uh-huh.
Amazing.
That would be
yeah.
chaotic.
So Yeah, that would be chaotic. It would be crazy, but I mean that's half the fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have a game night, 6 people, that's a pretty decent number of people to just fill in, and it literally can last 30 seconds because look, I flipped the red, no one else did.
Blue is bad.
Or blue is bad. You're right.
Yeah.
It can last less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I thought I was the best hidden trader until Dan had to one up me by playing every challenge card
It
consecutively.
was quite fun when on one of the games we run out of cards, and that's when everybody decided to take their time playing things. I'm like, what are you people doing?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Rob, how about final
Fun
thoughts
times.
from you, sir?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun, nice, easy to learn. The only thing I would say is like maybe if you stress easily, this might not be like a good game for you because it could be a little
Oh, yeah.
stress-inducing. And
Yes. Oh, I didn't ask you before we played. Do you stress easily?
Not usually.
Okay, good. Good deal. Yeah, so,
Raised his blood pressure just asking that question.
I know, right? No, for me, like, first of all, games that I value a lot that I can get in my collection are ones that I can get played, right? So on that criteria, this is a home run. I love chaotic games. I love the madness of, real time, whether we're playing Captain Sonar, or
Ready,
Happy
Set,
Salmon
Bet.
or something. Ready, set, bet. I just kind of like the tension that it can present. And again, though, right, that's not like the games you're going to always play every single time and they like dominate your world. Like, it's my all-time favorite game. But I would rate this game very highly because of the replayability, the accessibility of it, and this is like kind of like Marvel Remix. This is like a game that could deceptively be like one of my most played games of the year because it takes 5 minutes to play it.
Right, yeah.
And you play, and if you play it
No time to teach.
if you play it 35 times, in a year and you're like, well, it's not hard to
Paid for
do.
itself.
It's my most played game of the year.
It is your most played game of the year.
By the way, it is the first.
So if you don't see Dan ever again, it's because he committed suicide.
And he's also right over there laughing at all our jokes, so we just keep trying to crack more at him.
What were you going to say, Rob? I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say like the range for the points. It's like
yeah.
it didn't make it too easy, so it actually has like some challenge to it.
Right, yeah. And again, like games like this and like Just One and stuff, it's kind of like challenge yourself anyways, right? Like we can do better, right? We can do so for this style of game, right? Like so my rating is going to be how I would rate these kind of games. So it's not Twilight Imperium or Twilight Inscription, but this doesn't have to be. This does what it does so well. And fits that like spot on my shelf so well. I had heard about this game at like Gen Con and was really disappointed I didn't get one. And then Mingo picked up one from us at PAX, which I like forever grateful. Thank you so much because I know I wanted like, I'm going to PAX. You guys need anything? I'm like, can you get me kites? Like the smallest box game.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it's a big ask, but I just had a feeling I was going to really like this game. And it did exactly what I hoped it would do. So now let's give it a final score. Mike, before we do it,
Oh, yes.
how do we do our final scores?
Ooh, our final score rating.
Since Dan's not here and I didn't want to put that on Rob.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, hi, Rob, welcome. Guess what?
I don't know. I'm in the wrong seat. I'll probably explain it completely wrong. We're going to rate this game from 1 to 10. We use 0.5s for variation. We are going to average the scores together to give you one score, and that's what we share on BGG, Discord, anywhere you want to know the rundown score.
You did that totally wrong.
You didn't do the.
Yeah, you did.
That's after we score them. If somebody's got to do the calculating, I will. I'm
I
in
think-
Bob's
Okay,
seat.
yeah, you can do the calculator.
Oh, sure. Just forget about Dan with all the Post-it notes in the paper.
Oh, yes, he can
there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Oh, no, try again. He's giving me a 5 out of 10 on my explanation of how we do our scores. Dang it, I'm failing already.
That's
I'm going back to
average,
live
though.
streaming. Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead and get us started then with your final
my
rating.
score, yes, this is a solid, fun, chaotic filler with a very novel sand timer mechanic. I will give it a 7.5.
Right on.
Right.
Spencer.
Considering what this is, I'm going to give this an 8. I would definitely play this whenever it hits the table, especially since it takes no time.
Yeah, literally. Rob.
I think I would probably give it a 7. I mean, it was fun. I just personally prefer like a little bit more heavier games.
What?
so-
This isn't heavy enough for you?
No, I mean these are pretty light.
Oh,
They
we
are-
can get
they
some
are cool.
20-minute sand timers.
Yeah.
There we go.
Those are a little heavier. A lot more sand.
Yeah, this is an 8.5 for me. This game just
Nice.
does everything I need it to do. For this kind of game, it's perfect. It's perfect. I've got no complaints with it. It does. It fills that niche perfectly. And
Nice.
also, though, I kind of love, because we give Spencer a hard time about like taking long turns, right? Sometimes we give Bob a hard time. I would love, like, I already now have played this with Spencer, and I loved watching Spencer freak out, like while we're playing.
Oh, I freak out. But I also am like the quickest to take the turn because I'm like,
Oh, listen, now he's bragging.
but I'm stressing the entire time he
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
around
What
the
he's
table.
telling you is get a sand timer for other games.
So-
is what
There
he's
you go.
telling
And
you.
what we're saying is, Spencer, apply this to all the
To the
other
other
games. you play. No, but I'd love to also play this with Bob. You know, who's going to try to like maximize
gosh.
everything. Because like I was playing this with Caleb and Jesse, who are also like prone to taking long turns. And it's like, all right, boys, like let's go. And
Jesse
I
particularly.
just and I love playing games with those guys, but I love, you know, just putting the crank on them. Like, here we go, like let's go. You gotta play fast. So
If you average all of our scores together, that means the rundown score is 7.7.
7.7, not bad, not bad. Yeah, this is enjoyable. I think most people that like these kind of games or want a filler game, this is gonna have a nice spot in your collection. So, anything else to add before we sign off?
Yeah, quick subscribe, click the like button, click the bell, all that stuff. Just go do it right now.
Yeah, be like Rob and get in our Discord
Yeah.
and hang out with us all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, and then come and see us. Who knows what could happen?
Do all those things.
Do all those things. All right, guys. For the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I was Mike.
I'm Spencer.
And I've been special guest.
Yay, special guest. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.